Hello everyone and welcome to FS25. Today we're doing a short and precise guide to precision farming, everything you need to know to run a field from planting to harvest without all the stuff that you have to micromanage. We're going to be doing this very simply, and so this will teach you how to run precision farming without worrying about all the precision stuff really per se, because the beauty of precision farming is it allows you to micromanage as much as you want or as little as you want. So today we're going to be starting off with this field here. We're just in Riverbend Springs, and we're going to start off with this field here. Now, I freshly harvested this field and then since went over and killed all the weeds. So we're going to be planting wheat here on this field. This field needs absolutely everything, and it was just harvested. And so, yeah, we're going to go beginning to end, and I'll try to cover everything as concisely as I can throughout this guide. So starting with this, we know we're going to plant wheat. We've got everything that we need here, I believe. So I'll talk about the different ways you could do different steps as well. We're going to start off by taking a soil map of it, which is the basic start for anything precision farming. And it's kind of really the only thing that you have to do different. In fact, some things are easier to do and have less steps than in the base game. We're going to take a soil map of the field, which is about pretty much the only additional step there is, actually. And precision farming gives you a more, I think, realistic and immersive farming experience. Right, so we're going to start with that. We're going to plant the wheat. We've got some herbicide here and a harvester over there. And I think this is all that we're going to need. First we need to take a soil map so that we know what we're working with. Now, for that, we have got this little machine here. It's the Isaria Scout, and you can find this in the shop. Now, there's actually two Isaria things here you're going to need. One is the Scout, and one is the this guy here, the crop sensor. That said, there's two different of those. We'll talk about those in a minute, okay? Because one you can get installed on the tractor itself. We'll talk about that when we plant our wheat. For now, we're just going to talk about this guy right here. This is the Scout, and this is what we use to map the field. It's really easy to use. I'm going to show you how to use it. Alternatively, we don't have to use this at all. I'll show you here's what we're going to do. We're going to be working on this field here. We've got this field here. Now, none of these fields have soil maps. Or anything. What we're going to do is we can also purchase it. Instead of using the Scout to actually scan for the information, which we're going to do manually because it's not bad at all, but you can alternatively purchase it. Like, for instance, field 4 here, we click field 4, we can click purchase soil information, pay a small fee, and bam, there's the soil information. So there is that method. So if you want to do it that way, it makes precision farming even easier. Now, this shows you where the basic types of the field are. All right, now as far as mapping this out, we'll want to actually have the map up. That helps. Very simple. Just with this machine here, we're going to unfold the machine. Oh, let's pull up our help menu here, but it's the standard unfold button. Once the machine's unfolded, you notice there's a green circle in the map, and it shows where this thing will take its samples. And so we just want to basically we want to get this green circle on as much of the field as we can. And then use the take soil sample button in the controls, and it'll punch down and take a soil sample. It'll take a few seconds, and what it'll do is it'll make a big red blob on the map. And so that right there, that means that area is pending in the results. The soil sample is currently inside the machine, and we'll need to send these off to get them tested. I think we can get the rest of this with, yeah, right here. All right, so here's all the soil samples taken. Now, once these all get taken, there we go. We're going to pull up the, let's see here. I'm on an Xbox controller. It's the left bumper and Y. Send soil samples for analysis. And there's not many, so it won't take long. See at the bottom of the screen, it says the laboratory is analyzing 5 soil samples. There we go. Now it says, yeah, it just finished. And you can see that it just finished. And so here you can see the map of this field. Now that we have this, now we're ready to work on everything with the field. First thing we're going to want to do, because it needs everything, it needs lime, we're going to want to put down lime first. Now I did forget to buy us a lime spreader, so I'm going to buy us one now. Oh, let's go ahead and fold this machinery up. We're done with this, and we'll put this away. I'm going to zip this down here, a lime spreader, and we'll get to work. All right, here we are with our lime spreader. Now you notice in the upper left-hand corner, we have a pH value lime application thing. Now, of course, this guide, we're just showing the basics of what you need to know to run it without all the complicated stuff. But this right here, all you need to know is that, notice up there, it says application rate, 0 tons per hectare, auto. It's on auto. That's all we need to know. We're going to leave it on auto. It's going to auto, because it has the map of what's where, and so it knows where to, so it knows where to put the lime. There's a little bar there that has a little red mark on the current, pH balance of the field, and that little finish line flag shows where it aims to put it, but you don't need to know any of that. Now, as we go through this, you'll see on the mini map there, you can see it pulls up the mini map filter in appropriate for whatever tool you're using. We have a lime spreader attached, so we have the pH filter up there. You can see as we spread the lime, it's it's correcting the colors, and it should end up being mostly uniform. It's going to be different though, because there are, I recall, I believe there's 3 different types of soil in this field. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to bring these all to right about the same level. Now, while we do this, that's one thing I really like about precision farming, is it adds more variables to the field. They're less uniform and more like real fields. I like to see more like kind of variance. It just feels more realistic and I think immersive. So anyway though, this step is simply just spreading the lime, because it's handling all this stuff automatically for us. This is just like you would do in the base game, spreading the lime. And it only puts as much as is needed. If I sit here and dump more lime on it, it's not going to make it worse. It's not going to add too much or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that. In fact, a lot of times it won't even dispense lime. Frankly, I don't think it should be right there. That's a different matter. I don't think it should be, and sometimes it doesn't. Regardless, it's not going to put too much in one area. And with things like fertilizer and herbicide, it won't spray anymore. But anyway, so the lime spreading is done. Next, we're ready to plant. Now that I like to balance out the pH before we plant. We're ready to plant next. But before we plant, we want to set up tram lines for the field. Now this is, you don't have to. It's an either or, you can or you cannot, but this is the basic guide on just whatever. So we're gonna do that. The tram lines are basically, they're lines which you can see, like for instance on this field here. They're left on the field for driving through with a sprayer and spraying. That way you don't run over crops. And the reason you do it before planting is because we're going to set up the tram lines by going in here. We're going to give the field the information of how wide our sprayer is, so that when we plant, the seeder is literally not seeding in those places. So it leaves like artificial tire tracks in the field, but they're not tire tracks per se. They're simply places where the planter didn't plant. It's pretty cool. But first we want to see what the diameter, what width our sprayer boom is, because I'm not sure. So our sprayer boom width is 24 meters. So we're going to click, we got to be here. We got to be in the precision farming tab. Don't forget that. Click on the field number, tram lines, and we're just putting in our sprayer width, which is 24 meters. 24 meters. Now it has that information. So now when we plant on that field, it's going to leave those spots blank. Now the seeder that we're using is a direct seed drill. It's this one right here in particular. And notice in the description, it says that it has the possibility to seed directly with no previous cultivating or plowing being necessary. A few of those have the same thing in the description. That's something that I wanted to make sure that was pointed out, because with precision farming, technically you want to avoid cultivating the field if you can. It's not as good for the field. It causes erosion. It uses diesel fuel. It does things that aren't the best for the environment. So you'd want to avoid cultivating if you can. So using a direct seed drill is what we're doing. And it's also fewer steps. So there you go. And we already have this loaded up with wheat here, ready to go, and fertilizer. All right, so here's what we're going to want to do with this. Now this is where the Isaria Pro comes in. We are using the Isaria Pro, or the compact, which is an option when you can install on your tractor at purchase. And it should be in every tractor in the game, and even some mod tractors should have it too. For instance, this tractor right here, when you go to buy it, you have the option of the Isaria Pro Compact. Now what that is, it's a nitrogen like detector for crops. I'm not a scientist, but basically what it does is it reads the nitrogen levels of the crops around you so that it knows how much fertilizer to dispense, basically. Now it comes in this form here, which are little white modules mounted on the mirrors. Or if for whatever reason that's not working for you, you can buy a standalone unit which goes on the tractor, which I showed you earlier in the video when I was talking about right here. This is the same thing. This is an active module, and this goes on the 3-point on the front or wherever on the tractor. And you can get it configured with the weight too, which I think is cool. Only difference between the two, they both have to be activated and turned on, which I'll show you. This one is like powered and can run anytime. The one we have, the compact we have on the mirrors, which I like because it doesn't take up a slot on the tractor. It's solar powered, so we can only run it during the day. All right, we're gonna want to make sure that's on. Now, unfortunately, it conflicts with my key bindings. The key binding, it does have its own key binding in the menu. I haven't changed it because I am on Xbox controller. It's pretty limited buttons. All I'm saying is be mindful of your key binds. Mine conflicts, so I'm going to use the keyboard key bind, which I move my mouse and you can see all the keyboard key binds pop up, and by default it's Alt and B. So I'm going to hit Alt B, and you can see the crop sensor is on. Okay, so that's, I guess you could count that as one more step that you'd want to do, right? Crop sensor's on the tractor. We've got the Tram Lines set, okay? So it knows where not to plant, and our seeder here is loaded up with fertilizer and wheat. Now, one thing about precision farming is that fertilization affects the nitrogen levels in the soil, and nitrogen levels are, as in real life, a spectrum. They're not simply a stage of one level or two levels of fertilization like, you know, the game does by default. So let's turn these lines on. Meaning this is all the fertilization our field will need. And this right here is all the fertilization our field will need. So we're just going to plant our wheat just like we normally would. And this is not planting it where we don't want, planting it where we do want. And look at that beautiful green it's leaving behind us on the field, because it's, yeah, this is going to give us all the fertilization we need. After this, the only thing left to do will be run the weeder or the herbicide sprayer, which we'll do in due time. We'll do that and then wait. You know, this is pretty much it. Most of the work here was simply testing for the soil samples, which you only got to do one time, and what you've seen here. So for now, let's let her get this done, and we'll come back and finish off our field. All right, so we have wheat planted on our whole field here. It looks very nice, and we can check here. We can see that the wheat's planted, sans the tram lines where we're going to be running our herbicide sprayer. Go over here to the precision farming tab. Now we can see our tabs for pH, nitrogen. There's those two spots right there. Well, the only I can see about that is, I don't know. I wasn't out there planting it. That could be anything, but that's all done. The only thing left to do is we're going to let this grow. We're going to come by with herbicide. So I will catch up with you guys in a month or so. All right, we're out here in October, the month after we planted our wheat. And let's have a look at it. You can see that there are weeds growing here. You can also see, so this is where it didn't plant it. Now, again, we don't have to run the tram lines. I wanted to show you with it on. If you don't set that, then it won't leave them. The field would just be normally all planted wheat, just FYI. So, but regardless, so we've got weeds mixed in here. We've got our herbicide sprayer here. So there are some options with the sprayer that do have to do with precision farming. We're going to check that out right now. Sprayer we're using is this one right here. And notice it's got see and spray and pulse width modulation. These both are with precision farming. If you don't have precision farming installed, you won't see these options. I'm not sure if all of these have this. I think probably so. And I have some modded sprayers that also have those options. So you're going to see on probably everything here. Now what these do basically is we have both these installed. They cost a lot of money, but they save you. They will save you that much money and more faster than you think, because what it does is basically it installs what the see and spray is. It's a system which installs cameras along the length of the boom, which can visually see and spray the weeds. So instead of just constantly pumping out dangerous chemicals into the ground, it simply looks, and when it sees a weed, it sprays the individual weed. It's cool. It saves you a ton of money. I mean, we can run herbicide over this entire field using only, we'll see, we've already run one lap of the field to kill the weeds previously before we planted, and that took a total of, as you can see down there, 5 liters. So yeah, it saves you a lot of money, and it's kind of cool to watch it work too. So anyway, that's that. So we're all set up here and ready to go. Just wanted to show you that the equipment we have, make sure you have those options. You don't have to have those options though. To be fair, you don't have to have those, okay? Perhaps I should have put that in at the beginning. You don't have to have those options. We're running, technically, this is the simple guide for precision farming, but we are running more stuff than we need to be running, technically. I'm not going to worry about too much about running within the tram lines because I am running narrow tires on the tractor, but I just wanted to show, you know, what I can. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on, steering assist. And, oh yeah, so we can turn on a sprayer right here, which if you look up at the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you can see I did turn it on, but see nothing's coming out. It's not going to dispense any herbicide until we actually get over the weeds. That said, I'm going to go ahead and get this finished, and we're going to check on our wheat afterward. All right, that is all the weeds sprayed on the field. We're going to get our machinery folded back up, and we'll check on this field later. Well, here we are in July. We have not touched this field since, when was it? October or so, when we sprayed for weeds. Literally haven't touched it since, because all we did was we planted the wheat, which also fertilized it, right? Came by next month and sprayed the herbicide, and that's been it. We haven't had to come by and do anything else. In fact, if we check here, pH level is still the same. Nitrogen level looks good. Everything here looks good. When we go up here, we see it's ready to harvest and no weeds or anything. Yeah. So that was it. The main thing is I wanted to show you I wanted to do a quick rundown of the screens. I think, you know, there's definitely more you could cover. There's a lot more information there. But the point is, there's no information that you need. The point of this guide was to show you everything that you needed to know to run precision farming. And there we have it. Now we're going to go ahead and run the harvester here. And this is literally going to be, everything else is really, you know, the same as, you can really play the game the same way, but you get more information feedback as you go, which, you know, I think is really, really cool. Let's turn this on. Just so I can not pay attention to where I'm driving, so I can talk to you guys. We look down there in the map and we see our yield. It's showing the yield mini map now. Of course, these colors are going to vary. Everything varies based on different things. So, yeah, we're going to get more variable numbers. The fields are more anomalous. There's more information to process. All of these things I like, but it really doesn't. I do, because it makes it feel more real and less like the field is just a one state static area. The field is like alive, it has different settings everywhere you go on the field. There's different soil states and this and that. It affects different things. You don't necessarily have to interact with it as much, or I should say, any more than you do normally, but you get to observe all the different states of the field. And there is the option to interact with it more and micromanage all these settings. So I think it's really, really cool. Like right there in the upper left-hand corner, you know, with the sprayer, it had the sprayer rate and everything up there. Well, up there now for the harvester, you know, 6.9 tons per hectare is our current yield. 86% is what it's saying. Et cetera, et cetera. We have our environmental score too, which I didn't touch on because this is just the simple guide. I just wanted to touch on stuff very simply, so I didn't touch environmental score. But if we go over here, there, 98. So this field's or environmental score is 98, literally just short of 100. Without micromanaging literally anything whatsoever, we got an environmental score of 98 on our field. So I guess that's mission accomplished, right? You can pretty much play the game exactly as you did before. Only a couple things you have to pay attention to. You need a soil map, but you can just straight up purchase that. And what else? What else do you have to pay attention to that's not the same as normal? We had to remember to turn on the crop sensor and have the Isaria Pro compact installed on the tractor's mirrors before we started planting. We didn't have to do the tram lines. We chose to do that. So yeah, guys, that's all there is to it. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I hope this quick guide to precision farming was handy to you. I wanted it to be short, and I hope it is when I'm done editing. I really hope it is. I can try to put out a shorter one. I can put out longer and more detailed guides and other things like that. So be sure to make sure you're subscribed and follow along with the channel. There'll be more content like this, more farming simulator stuff, of course, always coming up. And thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next time.